Finally, after a month or so of zero updates, the Celsius team has finally updated all stakeholders. Now, this video is going to be a little bit grainy, a little bit not your average YouTube video, because I'm just trying to get this news out there. This is something that kind of made everyone's jaw drop when we saw this happen to Celsius. We saw this happen to Voyager after making fun of Celsius for having people's funds locked up. I think Voyager said something like, "Oh, and we state this will never happen to us. All of our money is fully backed." And 1 week later, sorry guys, it happened to us. What can we say? So originally this happened with Celsius, but historically, this happened in the past before, and we actually have, I forget the name of the platform, but it had to do with Magic the Gathering trading, and then it became a platform for trading Bitcoin, and people's Bitcoin was locked up. And for the first time, it is actually being unlocked later in the month of August 2022. So we're going to see what impact that does on the crypto markets, seeing crypto that was locked away for so long actually being distributed to stakeholders. So let's go over what Celsius has actually said. But right before we do, I want to talk about some more breaking news. So what happened today with the Voyager token? That thing skyrocketed X5. That was basically AMC, GameStop combined in a single day. It was unreal to see that. Now, a lot of us saw that coming. That there would be a short squeeze, everyone betting against the Voyager token. We saw the same thing happen with the Cell token, and a lot of money was made. But that being said, what is the reason why I didn't go into this, knowing that this would probably happen? Because we don't know when it would happen. So for example, last week, my mom and I were talking, we were like, hey, the Voyager token is now 30 cents. There will be a short squeeze eventually. And we were talking about locking up somewhere like around $1,000 for a potential quick X2 or something like that. But we were so happy that we didn't do that, because literally 1 week later, the Cell token falls by 50% to about 14 cents per token, which would make my mom and I really upset. But if we held on till today, it reached as high as $1, which would have X3'd our money. And I don't really want to create a strategy for taking advantage of these situations, even though it might be kind of dumb not to, especially if you're kind of within the range of competence, knowing that, hey, this is a pattern. It's happening with these bankruptcies with crypto platforms. There's a lot of money to be made. I think that we made the right call not playing around and gambling with our hard-earned money, specifically because if we put in, say, $1,000 at the 30-cent mark, well, what if the squeeze happened at the 5-cent mark and it X5 to 25 cents? We would still be down. And I don't really want to average into a gamble. I never want to do that. That could just be burning money. I would rather average into more stable coins, no pun intended. I'm not talking about stable coins, but more stable coins like Ethereum, the blue chips, as we call them, and Bitcoin, or index funds. So anyways, let me read off what Celsius is saying. Moments ago, we announced that we voluntarily petitioned for Chapter 11 reorganization. Now, I have a Voyager video where I talked about this, so I'm going to skip through what Chapter 11 means really quick. I go into slightly more detail in that other video, but ultimately it means they are reorganizing their assets and their debt. This means that people like us who have some money locked in Celsius will be able to potentially get some sort of payout. Now, they didn't go in as much detail of what that payout would look like, when it would happen by. I know the Voyager platform went into slightly more detail, talking about getting customers part of their crypto back, or some of it in the form of USD cash, as well as Voyager tokens, which skyrocketed, and Voyager stock, which I believe you currently cannot trade on any stock market platform. At least regular folks cannot. So that's just something for us to think about. So it says Celsius is having a difficult, necessary decision to pause withdrawals and swaps. That's not new information. So we're going to skim a little bit lower here. They're saying that the reason why they did this was because eventually they would run out of funds. Now they're saying they have enough funds, right? And we know that we're kind of taking this with a grain of salt. They're saying we do have enough funds, but it would take a very long time to harvest value from illiquid or longer term asset deployment activities before all the people who have their money in Celsius would be able to withdraw, which would lead to that bank run situation. So instead, they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And with that, we see hold on one second here. I skimmed a little bit. With that, we see that they are apologizing for communication issues. Speaking of communication issues that they've had with the entire team, meaning all of us, all the people part of their community. They've been not really responding to our messages, and it's been kind of a gruesome experience. People have a lot of crypto locked up, and they're not really able to do much about it. So all they said here is, hey, we filed for this petition. Maybe we'll be approved. Maybe we won't. I'm wondering if they followed the lead of Voyager, which kind of shows us that Voyager is moving faster through this space. They kind of stopped withdrawals about a week before, no, about 2 weeks or so before Celsius did. Or after Celsius did, yet they got the bankruptcy Chapter 11 filed and approved quicker than Celsius did. So this is just an update. So it does look like there is a chance to get some of your funds back. Hopefully we'll see what happens. Of course, I wish everyone the best and hoping that you do get your funds back. Now, that being said, the state of Bitcoin has not really changed, and Ethereum in the last week or so. We're seeing a lot of interesting things in the NFT space. When it comes to NFTs, I'm very excited because it is a new type of economy where people are measuring value in the price of ETH rather than the dollar. So when ETH crashes, NFTs should cost more ETH to purchase, yet that is not the case necessarily. When ETH drops, say Ethereum is 2,000, right? 2,000 for one Ether. When an NFT say is 100 Ether. If that Ethereum drops from 2,000 to 1,000, then the NFT, which is 100 Ether, should actually double to 200, but it does not. The value of the NFT should not change based on the price of Ethereum. And I think that's just a bunch of new investors entering a space which is also new. And so value and price are still being determined. And when there's a lot of room for interpretation of what is value, what is price, what is this new environment, and new money coming in, you get this, right? My hands involuntarily went like this. This is volatility. Volatility is not a bad thing. Volatility means there's opportunity. To me, it's synonymous with opportunity. If something is not volatile, that just means it goes like this, or like this, or like this. Nothing in life worth achieving goes through a very steady journey, whether it's all positive, all negative, right? Anything in life that is worth fighting for usually involves volatility, from relationships, with partners, with kids, with work, our own ambitions, and definitely our investments. So I do see a lot of action in the NFT space, and I do see a differentiation between floor NFTs, so NFTs that you could buy at the bottom, right? Like Mutant Apes, if the floor is 19, that's the floor where you just buy all the cheaper ones. That's usually where people come in with paper hands and they quickly try to flip it and make a profit. But when you start looking at the features for rarity of these NFTs, that's where you see a different economy, a different market. It's a market within the market. And this is not new to NFTs. This is common in the collectible space. People do this with Pokemon cards, sports cards. There's niches within niches, and we all know the riches in the niches. That being said, I hope everyone does the research very thoroughly. I think now is the time to be stacking ETH. I know a lot of people are waiting for a great crippling crypto crash, even though we are in one right now. We're down 70%. We're down 60, about 60 to 50% from all-time highs, kind of going up back and forth between the 50 and 60 range. But we're also seeing that the potential for a secondary 70% crash, just if we're going proportionally to the last crypto winter, the last bear market, where Bitcoin fell from about 20,000 per coin all the way down to the high 3,000s, where Ethereum fell from about $1,300 per coin all the way down to the low 80s. So proportionally, we still have a long way to go. Now, I have no idea if we're going to get there, and no one watching this does either. That being said, my strategy is to simply use traditional investing approaches, average in. I am not missing this winter like I missed the last one. I never sold a single crypto, even though it's all locked up in Celsius. Rest in peace. Hopefully we get that back. Luckily, crypto has always been a very small percentage of my own personal portfolio, but it is the one that I'm most excited to talk about because of the exponential potential. You're not going to get this in the stock market most of the time. So that's why a little bit of my money, and I'm literally investing a few dollars a day, like a Starbucks coffee. I don't drink coffee. I drink Bitcoin and Ethereum, baby. So I'm buying $3 of Bitcoin, $3 of Ethereum. I'm doing this on the Robinhood platform. I know a lot of people cringed right now, but I do think you get the most bang for your buck if you're averaging in daily on Robinhood. You can transfer it out into a hot wallet or a ledger after 5 days of holding the crypto. So there are some gas fees associated with that. So please have a goal number in mind before transferring out. And the fine print on Robinhood is the same fine print on Coinbase and every other platform. Not your crypto, not your keys, not your crypto, basically. So even though, it's not Voyager Celsius, please be very, very careful, be mindful, diversify. Sure, that interest can be tempting, but would you rather have 7% interest or still have the potential to boom to the moon on a ledger without getting much interest at all? I do think that all of us made a big mistake trusting these exchanges. It did make crypto a lot easier, and a lot of moms and pops got into it, but now a lot of moms and pops are shunned away from the world. They hate it. It is a scam to them, and it's going to take a while to rebuild trust with the population when it comes to cryptocurrency. I'm talking months, years, potentially half a decade. But we know that there will be halving events. Bitcoin will become even more scarce. And fundamentally, if it is still interesting, since it's becoming more scarce, that means the price or value of it should increase. And now, again, I didn't mean to use price and value synonymously, but I think in that case, they are very highly correlated. With that being said, if you enjoyed this video, this channel, Funancialism Georgie, I post all day on Instagram, so follow me there. It's Funancialism, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.